Liquidity, the only word in crypto that matters to us on a day like today. In this video, I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you why the Bitcoin price is sat in this blue box right now, and who is responsible for it going there. I'm going to explain this so that you can calm down and not worry too much about 99% of the noise that you're hearing across the crypto industry today, and why things will get better in the coming weeks and months. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and let's get into today's video. Now guys, just yesterday, I made a video explaining that Bitcoin could well take a bit of a dip down towards the $89,000 level, and in the worst case, down towards 84 or maybe even to 81. So what is so significant about those prices, and why shouldn't we be stressing out despite the fact that Twitter and YouTube is loaded with so much noise right now? Well, because of liquidity. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's just jump across to coinglass.com and I'll explain to you exactly what's going on so that you can rest assured that things are actually fine. This is the liquidation heat map. This is showing Binance Bitcoin versus USDT, which is the biggest trading pair on Binance, which is the biggest trading exchange. I showed you yesterday around $80 billion of trading volume happens on Binance every day. As you can see, we identified yesterday that it was likely to dip into this yellow area of liquidity. This is where lots of people have stacked up long orders. They got big stop losses down here. Binance wants to push the price down into there to liquidate people and soak up some of that liquidity. Why? Because it doesn't want the price to pump up too much right now. I'll explain why that is later on. We can see then, after that, Bitcoin then comes down into the next key pocket, which sits down towards, at the bottom, 84.5. Right now we haven't got that far, but there's a potential option for it to continue down towards these levels here. Why? Because as you can see, there is literally billions of dollars of Bitcoin sat in this area. So how can I prove this to you? Well, over the last few weeks, I've been talking about various transactions happening between Binance, Coinbase, and Wintermute, where we can see a lot of money moving off and on the exchange at any given point. This is used to move the price up and down in order for the exchanges to continue to make money, but not only that, so they can also control the price. And while you might all think that this is good for the crypto markets, I think you're wrong. I'll explain exactly why I think they're doing it in just a moment. Further proof to me is the fact that Bitcoin is down around 4.3%, which is pretty big. A lot of the altcoins are bleeding quite a lot, but you know, the Binance coin, the BNB coin, which is owned by Binance, is down 0.45%. So this is very interesting, okay? It feels like perhaps a lot of the liquidity and earnings made from their liquidation events on Bitcoin have just been pushed back into the Binance coin. I'm just speculating on what might be going on. And right now, I know there is a huge amount of noise across Twitter and YouTube about why this bull market is cancelled. Fortunately, from this side of things, and ignoring all the hype and excitement on a day like today, obviously I don't have my Twitter account right now. Okay, so it's obviously been pretty bad what happened in the last few days. But if there was a silver lining, it's that I avoided most of the BS being spread on Twitter right now, which is just done for engagement purposes. Okay, so don't engage too much with it. It's just out there to farm your engagement. People panicking all over the shop. These are experienced people in crypto. Or you can see, if we go back through the charts, this happens all the time. Okay, we have this area under here, liquidity. You can see the Bitcoin price bounces around for a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months. It then bounces down into liquidity. This was back in 2024. You can see this basically happened in 2023. Bounces around, has a dip into liquidity, and then guess what? It pumps up. Notably, it does this in the 10th of March. Okay, this is quite interesting. This one as well, it does this when? The 22nd of January. Again, Q1 into kind of the end of Q1. So don't worry too much about March being a terrible month for crypto and all these other stories, and people and retail are so scared of being in crypto. They're not going to buy into the market anymore. Guys, you are retail. You know as well as I do. As soon as Bitcoin and crypto are back at 100K and beyond, we're all going to be aping in, asking, you know, which coin I should be buying and buying me. Is exactly the same. As soon as the market pumps back up, retail will be rushing back in, okay, in massive quantities. Retail are already here because you're already watching these videos, okay? I don't mean to offend you, okay? I'm a retailer as well, but we're all the same here. Now, if we jump back to early 2017, we see something very similar happening. Multiple times, Bitcoin goes sideways for a month or two, then has a correction towards the downside, and then it rips towards the upside. Again, it sits down here and it dips into our old friend liquidity, and then it rips out. It does this again, it goes sideways, it dips into our old friend liquidity, and then it rips out. You get the picture, okay? I'm not saying that it can't have a little bit more of a stall, but this is typical of what you might see in a bull market. So Why did we get it so wrong? Why are we seeing this taking so long? Why are the market makers holding the crypto prices back? Well, I think it's all because of something that maybe got us all too excited and carried away in the first place. Bitcoin and the crypto market has been performing far better than I think many people anticipated if you were to go back to early 2023. Bitcoin, as you can see, ever since then, has ripped nearly 6x, okay, nearly 7x to be honest, and now currently just sits down after a little bit of a dip around 89k. Leaving everyone completely panicked and worried. But remember, all of the things that we've had that have been incredibly bullish for crypto are responsible for pumping the crypto prices over the last couple of years. What might those be? The ETF, BlackRock, buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin and crypto assets almost every day, seemingly. Michael Saylor, building probably the world's biggest, sketchiest crypto Ponzi scheme that I've ever heard of, buying more and more Bitcoin every day. I wonder how this might end in the next bear market, but we'll make a video about that another day. Right now, though, it seems to be bullish for crypto, or at least it appears to be. We've got Donald Trump, who told everyone that he was really pro-crypto. He rolled into the markets, everyone was expecting good things to happen, and guess what? Crypto calms down and collects itself down towards the downside. Why does it do this? Well, because fundamentally crypto, while these news events are positive, is driven by our old friend liquidity. This is the world M2 growth of the Fed, ECB, Public Bank of China, People Bank of China, Bank of Japan. You get the picture. You see these big blue booms in money printing? This results in Bitcoin bull markets, as you can see in the prices above. When do we get bear markets? Well, look, this is when the FTX collapse happened. As we come down here, you can see there was a spike towards the downside, decreasing the amount of money, quantitative tightening effectively happening here. And you can see this was the effect on the markets. And right at the end of last year, where we saw lots of excitement in the markets, what do we see? We saw liquidity pumping towards the upside. Why do we see a pullback now? Well, simply because liquidity is slowly dipping towards the downside. Why is it doing that? Well, because Donald Trump is rolling into office and he's doing a lot of deals right now with various countries. He feels that the US has been exploited by these other countries and now he's trying to push tariffs on them to try and sweeten the deal for the US. And he will continue to do this quite aggressively until everything is solved. This is why we're seeing dips in the markets right now, simply because liquidity is calming down. Not only is liquidity calming down, but we're having manipulation from Binance. Now, think about this, okay? Crypto exchanges make the most money when the most people are using them. What is the effect of a Bitcoin bull market happening right now without that market making manipulation, which I think probably would have happened and we would have seen Bitcoin continue higher? What is the effect? Well, it is that we don't have a bull market as big as we could do because it will happen far quicker. The euphoria and everything will hit far too quickly and then we'll end up coming down when the actual liquidity starts to arrive in the market. I think, speculation of course, you know, this is all we've got left at this point, that we are literally waiting and the market makers are waiting for the liquidity to start coming back into the market, and the liquidity will come into the market, okay? It fundamentally will happen because why? We've just had an election. After an election year, inevitably, liquidity arrives in the markets, okay? And as soon as Donald Trump starts to print money and ease off on other things, guess who else can print money? The Bank of China, the Bank of Japan, everyone else wants to print money as well, but they can't do it too much until the US dollar is weakened enough. So I know, okay, there is a huge amount of noise across Twitter. Little Timmy is having his field day because he's out there being like, I told you this would happen, okay? My Anon account that I've got from 2 years ago, I made this comment when no one read it, saying that the market would come down, and it came down a little bit. Now everyone's coming out of the woodwork to tell you how much they knew, okay? But fundamentally, we are in the same bull market. It's just been suppressed a little bit longer over this period of time. But Bitcoin, back in 2017, used to pull back significantly more, okay? These were pullbacks. What was this? 38% back here. Bitcoin pulled back 30% in the earlier part of this year. Is that January? January it pulled back 32%. Have I even done those ones? What's that? It's another like 30%. You still end up with a bull market that's absolutely crazy. Okay, in the next bull market that follows, what else happens? We have major pullbacks at various points. Okay, this one was what, 21%. This one up here, you know, a massive pullback, 29, 30%. And yes, everyone feels that this is the worst bull market ever. Why? Because back here, there just wasn't that many retailers involved. There wasn't that much positive hype and excitement about why Bitcoin and crypto should be so good. So it stayed flat for much longer before the liquidity arrived. What we've done is we've talked about all the hype and excitement before the liquidity's arrived, and we've had to calm down and make everyone sort of wait a minute. We're holding that ball from blowing up. This is what's happening, and eventually it will just send, okay? When every condition is right, the market makers are incentivized to make it absolutely send. They want as many people to trade on their exchange as possible. They know that that only happens when peak euphoria arrives. So anyone who's telling you that we are past the bull market top, you are completely wrong, because we never, ever had a euphoria phase. Euphoria phase is when everyone is selling everything to try and buy like $700,000 pictures of monkeys, okay? $700,000 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. When Justin Timberlake and Paris Hilton start buying NFTs and talking about crypto on social media, that's when you start to have the top, okay? But it's not really the top when everyone is talking about it, okay? Because everyone isn't talking about it. So it's not the top when just influencers who are in crypto anyway are talking about it, okay? When people outside of crypto start to talk about crypto, we're in euphoria. Right now, we're not. So what does it mean in the short term for Bitcoin? Well, there's a very good chance that, as I said, Bitcoin can come tiny bit lower because there is more liquidity that sits here. How do I find the liquidity? Well, you can go to the CoinGlass chart, or you can just go to the 4-hour chart, and you can see that there is a little area of interest somewhere around here. Okay, why? Because these very big green candles burst out of this key area here, which sat just above like $82,000. But what is very interesting, you might have noticed, is that Bitcoin has been kind of coming down quite hard, but a lot of altcoins today, of course, haven't really bled that much. And if we look at total 3, which is crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can see that we're bouncing off the bottom down here. This to me does seem to be a bit of a bull flag. Okay, can it come up from here? Well, it seems to be holding support. Now, maybe it bounces down here for a few more days or a few more weeks or whatever, but eventually those deals with the US and other countries will be made. Eventually, liquidity will come into the markets. Eventually, little Timmy and his friends will flip bullish, okay, and everyone will be out there buying crypto again, and everyone will be aping into coins that they have no understanding of what those coins are, and then wondering what's going on. To be honest, in my opinion, I still hold altcoins. I still believe that altcoins are going to see significant growth. They did it in the last bull market. They did it in 2017. And eventually liquidity will return to those markets. Okay, this to me is still the bull market. Just have to be patient. Zoom out. Okay, if it's stressful, stop looking at Twitter. I woke up very calmly today because I don't have my Twitter page. I barely looked at YouTube because of all the kind of like the BS going on. I just wanted to make this very calming video to let you know that everything's probably fine. Okay. Now, obviously, not financial advice. Go away and do your own research. There is one thing, though, that you've probably realized. If you zoom out of crypto, and we're talking on a daily chart or a monthly chart, probably the best thing you could have ever have done would be to just buy Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin forever. Now, I know, because at some point in the next 20 years, someone's going to look back and say something like, could you imagine what it was like to have bought Bitcoin at $87,000? And you're going to say, I know, because you can see that Bitcoin ultimately just continues to drive up. Bull markets after bear markets after bull markets. Eventually, over a long time, it's just going up. And the safest play is probably to just slowly chip away and DCA into Bitcoin. And that's why today I've partnered with BitDCA that allows you to DCA into Bitcoin. Now, BitDCA is the company behind Littlebit app, and it allows you to do what's called micro investing. And this is probably one of the coolest things I've seen recently. Every day that you're out spending money on your credit card or bank account, wouldn't it be cool if just a portion of that got put away into Bitcoin, whether it's at the top of the bull market or the bottom of the bear market, just chipping away into Bitcoin, knowing that over the long run, Bitcoin is going to continue towards the upside. And that's exactly what you can do with the Littlebit app, which is now working with Visa and Maestro, and will be a downloadable app that you can get in Q2 2025. You simply need to click here, and you can simply register your email address. Now, BitDCA is the company that is behind Littlebit app, and they're launching tomorrow over on MEXC and other places. Now, the other cool thing about BitDCA is that if you hold the token and you stake the token, that you can then earn increasing amounts of rewards by using the Littlebit app. It's all linked together in the same ecosystem. Not only that, but you will also gain fees from others that are using the Littlebit app. So for example, if you're using the Littlebit app and you're trying to save 5% of every purchase into Bitcoin, then the Littlebit app takes a portion of that. And if you're holding the BitDCA token, you'll enjoy a cut of those fees as well. And why I think this is so exciting is that you can simply download the app and start to earn Bitcoin without even knowing how to use different exchanges, without having to know how to use hardware wallets. What does that mean for us? Well, it means potential for mass adoption. Everyone, as soon as Bitcoin starts to rip towards the upside, trust me, is going to start to talk about Bitcoin once more. And when they do, everyone's going to start to find out a little bit more about how to get involved in different apps and how to buy Bitcoin and other things like that. So a project like this, to me, makes perfect sense as to why anyone would use it, and I can imagine lots of users moving across there. Now, if you want to find out more, I've left a link down below in the description so you don't get confused and end up on the wrong site. You can go and read all the news articles about it, and you can come down below, find out what's coming up in terms of their roadmap. You can also go and find out more about their team and their experience within crypto. To be honest, when I look at DeFi products and upcoming DeFi products, anything that's likely to bring a lot of people into the crypto space who've never been part of crypto before is where we will likely see some good success. And particularly if there's an application or something that I'm going to actually get use out of, then it's something as well that I can get quite excited about. Now guys, jumping back to the Bitcoin chart, we're bouncing back up to $87,200. So do me a favor, jump across to your tradingview.com chart. Click here, you can get the candlestick chart. If you want, you can change the colors, make it look really pretty. Just go down below where the Bitcoin price is right now, and you can drop some areas and just say that this is probably where the liquidity sits. If we're getting down all the way into this zone, then we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I really don't think that that's going to be that likely. Okay, in my opinion, we are going to turn around probably sooner rather than many people are feeling, and this will allow you to remain calm right now in these markets. Guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a favor, if you've watched it this far through, thank you so much. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Little Bit app and BitDCA. Let me know how much further you think that Bitcoin's going to go down and your price prediction for Bitcoin at the end of this bull market. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow in another video. Bye-bye.